That's theirs. Where's ours?
Hey, I'll tell you what, don't worry. We can put ours in as we go, really, I mean, if we have to. All right.
Okay.
You already turned that up, right? Okay.
After Bennett is Riddle batting for Decker.
We're on. Okay. Good evening from Elam Stadium in Union City, Tennessee, where this evening the Crawfordsville Athenian baseball team is playing game number 2 of this Final Flight tournament, winning game number 1 earlier this afternoon by a score of 3-1. We have a really beautiful night here this evening for baseball. First of all, we'll apologize for the inconvenience, game number 1, not being able to get on the web with it, but we'll give you a quick review of that game in just a minute. This is Dan Welliver, along with Mike Schubert, and over on the camera, once again, we have Justin Duggar. So hopefully we're going to give you a good picture and give you a good Athenian result. Well, as we mentioned, the Athenians win this afternoon by a score of 3-1 over the Rebels from McKenzie High School. In that ball game, the Athenians put up the first run of the game in the bottom of the third when Cale McCarty walked to lead off the inning. Eventually came around on a ground ball, and so the Athenians took a 1-0 lead. There was no score again until the bottom half of the 5th inning when the Athenians put together 3 hits in a row to lead off that inning, and eventually scored 2 more runs in that 5th inning to go up by a 3-0 lead. And then in the final inning number 7, the McKenzie Rebels did score 1 run as they led off the the top half of the 7th inning with a base hit. Eventually came around off of a ground ball, and they put up only the 1 run. For the Athenians, the starting pitcher, who, by the way, just really did a great job, Cam Saunders, a junior starting pitcher, gets his first varsity win for the Athenians as he went 6 innings, and in those 6 innings, he was able to get 8 strikeouts while walking only 1 batter. In the top of the 7th, Will Kellerman came on to start that inning, and he was relieved by Austin Warren, who came in and did an outstanding job to finish that ball game. And again, the Athenians ending up with the win of 3-1. In the ball game, Cam Saunders struck out 8 batters again, and as we said, walked only 1 batter. And Austin Warren with the save. And the Athenians in that ball game had 3 runs on 5 hits, and the Athenians committed 1 error in the ball game, and they had 5 times they had struck out in the ball game. Athenians defensively looked very good in the ball game, even though they did pick up an error, but they had some really nice fielding plays, and pitching, like we mentioned, was very solid. So a very good outing for game number 1 of this 2018 season for the Athenians, and they are now 1-0, and now ready to go in the semifinal game as it is, and we're looking at Westview as the opponents in this particular ball game, which we're going to probably get underway here in about 5 minutes. Surveying the situation, and we do have an umpire, and the field is clean and ready to go, so certainly no more than 5 minutes we will be ready to go in this ball game. In just a minute, we'll give you the starting lineups, but first let me say that Mike Schubert helping me today, and we worked together down here last year in this same complex. Again, this is called Elam Stadium, and it's actually got a field name. Ladd Field is the name of the playing area itself, but 330 down both lines, 385 to center field. The wind currently out of the south-southwest, but very slight, only 2 to 3 miles an hour. In fact, at times less than that, almost calm. So, really nice evening, and I see the coaches and the umpires coming to home plate. So we're going to be ready to play baseball here shortly. We have once again a good contingent of Athenian fans as we did last year for this tournament, and we have a situation as far as the Athenian roster looks quite different. When we look at, first of all, we only have 11 players making this trip for the Athenians. We do have a lot of young players back in Crawfordsville, but on this varsity trip, we have 11 players, and it breaks down so that we have 4 sophomores. That includes Owen Bennett, and Owen, of course, was the Athenian catcher as a freshman last year, and so he is one of our really experienced players. Cale McCarty, another sophomore, and he will be starting out there at the shortstop position. Carson Scott, another player who played virtually and started at virtually every ball game last season. But Carson is making a switch, coming from the outfield and moving to second base this season. And then Austin Warren, and we already mentioned Austin coming in and shutting down the opponents in Game 1 this afternoon. And so those are the 4 sophomores. Now, there are 5 juniors, but as we look at it, it doesn't really represent a whole lot of playing experience as far as the varsity level. Jacob Weimer is an infield outfielder. Of course, Cam Saunders did, toward the latter part of the season especially, get a good amount of varsity time on the mound, and again today he looked great, so great sign for the Athenian pitching staff there. And then Will Kellerman will be playing a lot of first base, but Will is one of those guys we move around a lot. And matter of fact, I believe we used him today, on the mound, and we will be using him, I'm sure, some in the outfield. And then finally, for the junior class, we have Jake Decker, who's an outfielder, also a right-handed pitcher, and Josh Blackburn, who is another one of our experienced players, who is an outfielder and a right-handed pitcher. And finally, the seniors, and there are only 2 of them, and really not tons of varsity experience there. Sammy Riddle, who is a catcher and a DH, and indeed he did DH in game number 1. So then Cade Fitzwater, and Cade, talking to Grandpa up here, we're talking about how his versatility really helps the ball club, and he's officially listed on the roster as a utility player, and he is also one of those guys that can come in and throw some innings for us on the mound. So that is the roster for the Athenians, and really out of that 11, there are 8 of them that are back from last year's roster. And last year, Mike, we brought 16 players down here and a whole lot more of experience than what we have this year. But we were really heartened by what we saw. Well, we're going to be the visitors, it looks like, this time, Mike. And so that brings up number 20, Josh Blackburn, to lead it off for the Athenians. So here we go, the Athenians in the semifinal game, hoping to advance to the championship game tomorrow, and we'll try to get you a time on that later. I have a kind of a temporary time, but as the way time's been going down there, let's not announce anything officially, Mike.
That's right. That's changes day to day, from hour to hour, really. At least we've got dry weather. That's good, and we still have some wet field we might mention. Here's a ground ball foul. And that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Josh Blackburn at the plate. Here's the 1-1. That ball is outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Coach Fudge down at third base. Coach Welver down at first base. And that's a very familiar look. 30, how many years? 37 plus. Here's a ground ball left side. Shortstop has it. Here's the peg, and he's off the bag. Cannot come up with the ball anyway. Let's give him a base hit, Mike. We'll do it. The throw was off a little bit, but it looked like to me Josh may have had it beaten out anyway. All right, here comes up maybe the best wheels on the team, Carson Scott. Carson, as we mentioned, playing second base this year. Left-handed hitter, as you can see. Got a bunt hit in game 1 today. He's quick. He's very quick. He'll have a lot of those this year. Here's a bunt attempt, and he fouls it off. So no balls, 1 strike. What's that? Deal. Okay. Here's the breaking ball. Umpire started to come up with a right hand and then had a second thought about that, and that'll even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll have to excuse ourselves a little bit here. We weren't given the first names on the lineup, but the pitcher's name is Deal, D-E-A-L. Here's the runner going. Here's a good bunt back to the pitcher on to first base. And I say a good bunt is a good bunt when your just first job is to get the runner to second base. He got it on the ground, I'm sure, a little more direct at the pitcher than he would have liked, and a little quicker back to him. Yeah. But nonetheless, Mike, a runner in scoring position. Well, that's what we like to see early in the game. All right, Austin Warren to the plate. Austin had 2 hits today in the first game. Yes, he did. The ball well. As we mentioned, he had to save in game 1 also, and he's the man on the mound for the Athenians this ball game. Here's the second pitch, swung on and missed, so Austin falls behind 0-2 right here. Sweeping breaking ball that time by Deal. Here's the 0-2. This is getting away from the catcher. So on down to third base goes Josh Blackburn. Now we need to put that ball into play right here. You know, Mike, we really only struck out 5 times in game 1, and here's the pitch, and this is taken away. But I'm talking to some of the fans, dads, and so on, you know, and they all thought we struck out more than we did. Here's the pitch. Here's the ground ball left side. That's in the hole over there. He cannot come up with the ball. It actually trickles on into left field. So an RBI for Austin Warren is Josh Blackburn. Crosses home plate, and the Athenians go up by a score of 1-0.
First baseman number 21, Will Kellerman.
So we had to wait till the third inning in the first game today, Mike, but jumping on it early here in this evening ball game.
Yeah, we're being very aggressive. That's a good thing. It's a good sign for us.
All right, that brings up Will Kellerman. Will back at first base for this game. Here's a ball taken to left field, but it's going to go foul down the left field line. Will a little late on that one. Warren with a short lead at first. Here's the breaking ball, and Will got fooled a little bit because he was scoring to bunt, and that pitch slowed up just enough to really get him out of rhythm up there. So Will falls behind 0-2. The pitch swung on and missed on a fastball, maybe up and away a little bit. But probably close enough that he needed to try to protect. So now 2 down for the Athenians.
Brings up Owen Bennett, the catcher for Treeville.
Owen, as we mentioned, one of those rare freshman varsity catchers. So a year under his belt. Takes first pitch for a strike. Owen was involved in a rather strange play. Here's a check swing called a strike. Must have went too far. Owen did walk his first time at bat this afternoon. His third at bat hit a ground ball that they couldn't. Here's a ground ball left side. Third baseman did a good job getting over in a hurry, and the throw was on the money for out number 3. And so Owen grounds out 5-3 to end the inning for the Athenians. But in the inning, the Athenians come up with a run and lead it 1-0. We will mention the one thing that we have, I think, been assured that no matter what the outcome of this ball game, the Athenians will play again tomorrow. And I would assume it would depend upon whether we win or lose as to what time we're actually playing tomorrow. But I do not know that, but I know what the intention is. There's obviously had to been some changes in the timing and some of the other situations of this tournament due to the great amount of rain. And we hear that back home in Crawfordsville, the same thing's kind of been going on there, as I think things are pretty damp in the Seaville area also. Well, Mike, I don't know how much time we have to talk about, but I want to congratulate you and the whole 8th grade girls outfit that came up with a really great season this year, winning
Yes,
we had the whole deal, really.
Yeah. Well, we had a extended season. We played some games early before we started the middle school. We ended up 20-6 this year. A nice group came through this year. I think they're going to really help our program a lot in the near future. I think Coach Bean is looking forward to getting a hold of some of these girls.
I bet he is.
There's part of it. About 3 of them.
Here's the throw down by
The fielder number 25, Tristan Balassa.
Christian Balatha lead off here for our opponents this evening. What's their nickname, Michael?
Chargers, the Westview Chargers.
Chargers, all right. Well, that's a kind of a familiar name, and we can deal with that.
We played a few Chargers in our past.
All right. Hey, big 25 steps in, and here's the pitch from Warren right down the middle. Fastball. Austin had a lot of success in the, a few pitches you really had to throw in the 7th inning, but with that high fastball, very effective.
Yes, he threw hard and high.
Here's a ball fouled back out of play.
So just like you like to see it, Austin gets ahead quickly. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's a breaking ball, hangs a little bit high, and that's the first breaking ball he's thrown today. And
I believe it is.
Yeah, in his relief effort there, he didn't throw anything but fastballs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's a pitch. This one's fouled off into the screen. Count remains.
Could be watching it. Could be watching it.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball stayed up a little bit. I don't think you liked that, but the batter didn't like it either. He swings and misses for out number 1.
Number 24, Gary Bird.
All right, this brings up the right fielder, Bird, wearing number 24, right-handed hitter. Slim young man. Here's the pitch. Even though there's not a runner on base, Warren working out of the stretch. Ball grounded over and has it is Austin Warren. The peg, he got him out. Nice play by Austin there. Ball took a big high hop, so by the time it got to the glove, there wasn't much time left, and he cut loose with a very accurate throw to get out number 2.
Yes, he needed that good arm to get that one. He was quick running down to the baseline. Was
Number
Bird.
7, Ethan Parham.
I believe we have Ethan Parham.
Okay, Ethan Parham, right-handed hitter, standing in there, takes ball number 1.
Yes, he's their shortstop.
2 down here in the bottom half of the first inning. Athenians up by a score of 1-0. Here's the pitch, stays high, 2-0. Two O's right there, down the middle. That'll be up and away, so Austin falls behind 3-1 here. That's there for a strike. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
See some heat here, won't we?
Yeah, I think he's going to try to come down the middle.
Yep.
Swung on self-protection there, it looked like. It might have been a little bit inside.
Yeah.
Caught a piece of the batter's leg, I believe, so no harm done on anyone. Infield back all the way around. Here's a ball again, foul off. Number 3 hitter doing a good job protecting the plate. Here's a ground ball left side, but it'll stay foul. Who's that guy got that ball?
That's a guy by the name of Fitzwater, Cade Fitzwater, number 25. Know him well.
Played in left field, game number 1 today. Moves into the infield there for game 2. Here's a ground ball this time. Over is Cade. He's got it. He's got a good arm, and he's right on the money for out number 3. So in the inning for the Chargers, they had no runs on no hits and nobody left on base. And we go to inning number 2 with your Athenians leading by a score of 1-0.
That's the way we like to start the first inning. Score a run and then go get them 1, 2, 3.
Okay, we're looking at
Riddle, who is DHing for the right fielder, Dexter, and Sammy will lead off here in the top of the second inning. He'll be followed by Cam Saunders, who's in left field, and then Cale McCarty, the shortstop, who hit out of the number 9 slot in Game 1, will be hitting out of the number 8 slot in Game 2 here.
Leading off for Crawfordsville, the DH, number 19, Sammy Riddle.
First pitch a little outside to Sammy. Ball 1.
Yeah, Sammy got fed a big dose of breaking balls in Game 1. Here's a ground ball just outside the line. County was at 1-1. And but every time he got a good fastball to swing at, he had a good cut. There's a 1-1. This is taken down and away. Here's a ball fouled off to the right side, but out of play. The count remains 2-2. Here's a breaking ball. It catches Sammy, and he leaves the bat on the shoulder, takes a call, strike 3.
Cam Saunders.
So that'll bring up Cam Saunders again, playing left field. Pitched a great ball game in this afternoon's game. Struck out 8 men in 6 innings. Here's that really didn't look like a fastball. Didn't have much of a break. Maybe just a change-up. And anyway, Cam took that one for a called strike. This next pitch, this is a breaking ball, kind of a slider-looking pitch, and down and away, Cam swings and misses, so he's quickly behind. No balls, 2 strikes. Next pitch is way away. Pitcher wasn't going to give up an 0-2 hit that time, was he?
No, he wasn't. That was even too far to chase, though.
Here's a ball hit off the end of the bat. It's got a chance to drop, and it does. And I want to tell you, all these shots, unless they're just a total line drive, anything in the air that goes to the outfield, Mike, it looks like a 9-iron or a pitching wedge going into the green because it goes nowhere. It stops dead. All right, the shortstop, Cale McCarty, coming to the plate. Cale scored the first run of the season for the Athenians after he drew a walk to lead off the bottom of the third in Game 1. Here's a throw to first, and back head first, and in plenty of time. Here's a ball, hits Cale, and so that'll put Cale at first, and going to move us on down to second base with Cam Saunders. So Athenians mounting a threat here in the top half of the second inning. That'll bring up this third baseman.
Third baseman number 25.
Had make the last play of the bottom half of the first inning. So Cade Fitzwater steps in for his first at bat here in this 2018 season, and he takes this pitch down and in. I know all the fans can see that strike zone better than I can, but I'll go ahead and struggle and try to call the strike zone a little bit. I can't help. That was obviously a strike there, though we all can call that one.
Yeah, we can see that one.
Well, we got 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out, but we got 2 runners on base here in the top of the second. There's a pitch, and this ball gets away from the catcher. That's a wild pitch. So runners advance. So a definite scoring threat here for the Athenians now. And the pitcher is asking for a new baseball. Michael, I got a note here from Crawfordsville. Looks good and sounds good.
Hey, we like to hear that, don't we?
Yeah. Here's a strike, and Cade had squared around as if to bunt on that one. So it was not the squeeze, though. I mean, not a suicide squeeze, I should say. Now the infield comes in with 2 strikes. I'm really surprised that they change at this point.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're only in the second inning, and bringing the infield in here and might not always be the best thing. Here's the pitch. Here's a ground ball. That's going to stay fair. Here's the throw to first. Nice arm, and first baseman digs it out. So big out there. Cade puts the ball in play. If he moves it over a little bit to the left, we get a run, but good play by the third baseman there. So the thing is, with 2 outs now, that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Josh Blackburn. Here's a breaking ball that hangs high.
Josh led off the first with a hit and scored, so let's see if he can come back in the second with a duplicate of that.
There's a fastball that got by Josh, and so we have a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Pitch swung on, foul back. Most of the time, the outfield have not been playing real deep in this tournament because the ball just doesn't roll or bounce much. Here's a ball, and Josh could not. Josh could not hold up, and it's a called strike 3. So, in the inning for the Athenians, they had no runs, leaving 2 men on base. We had 1 base hit by Saunders, was it?
Yes, by Cam Saunders.
Yeah, and so Athenians put men on base but failed to score. We go to the bottom half of the second, leading by a score of 1-0. Well, I wanted to mention, Mike, that the Athenians schedule after tomorrow, and again, we'll if we can get a concrete time on tomorrow's game, we'll go ahead and announce it. Otherwise, they can look online and pick the time up for tomorrow's game. But in addition to that, this coming Monday, the Athenians will be hosting West Lafayette, and that's a 6 o'clock ball game, and that is scheduled for a webcast. So, again, you can check online on that to make sure that the time stays at that point. But I'm pretty sure we have an accurate time there, 6 o'clock Monday. Athenians hosting the West Lafayette Red Devils. Well, Austin Warren on for his second inning of work here, and about ready to finish his warm-up. There's a throw down by Bennett to, I noticed that Owen has a lot of his throws have been going to the first base side of second on his warm-ups down there.
Yeah.
And kind of, on average, a little bit low. So, but that's one of the things that coaches have mentioned, that they feel like his throwing arm has improved a lot from last year.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to seeing him throwing people out. Number 1's our hitter here.
Yeah, he's the third baseman, Pogue.
Well, again, we mentioned Austin working out the stretch. Here's a ball taken to right field, right center field. We're over, under, and bringing that one in for out number 1.
First baseman number 22, Jonathan Davidson.
First baseman number 22, Davidson. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Cale McCarty has it. on the first base. So efficiency of pitches here so far in this inning. Get him swinging and putting the ball in play on the first pitch. You can get those soft ground balls like that, you're in Fat City. So 2 down quickly here in the bottom half of the second.
Brings up Mitchell, the designated hitter.
Fastball, and he had that by Mitchell. Ground ball short. McCarty once again, and this one goes right through him. So, I don't know that ball particularly ate him up. I think that he just misjudged the bounce, and
Pitcher number 4, Alex.
and as you might expect, Cale has been getting the majority of the ground balls so far down here. I don't know how many assists he had in game 1, but he had several good plays.
Had a good game. He had a good game today.
Okay.
Brings up the pitcher, Deal.
Better that little miscue with 2 outs than leading off an inning, Mike.
Exactly, yes.
First pitch to Deal is up and away.
Oh.
Next pitch is right there on a fastball. Austin has been throwing, my understanding, 83, 84, 85, and maybe even 86 on a good day. Here's a ball swung on and fouled off, so ahead on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. No threat, I don't think, with a steal here with this young man that's running at first base, Mike.
No, he's a big fella.
Here's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. So nice job there by Austin Warren retiring the final batter here in the bottom of the second inning. And so they come up with no runs on no hits. There was 1 runner left on base and 1 Athenian error. So at the end of 2 full innings, your Athenians lead it by a score of 1-0. They have 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. And the opponents are looking at 0-0-0. Well, we might mention last year, Mike, I'm not sure what our total number was, but we did bring down the JV last year.
Yes.
So we had a lot of young men down here. I've kind of kid the coaching staff. I said, you don't really have to worry too much about losing somebody this year, do you? When you got you got 30 kids out there running around, it's a whole lot different than 11.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we didn't even bring a student manager this year, which is the first time ever.
Yes.
And so a lot of things different this year. I mean, really, we talked about it a lot this afternoon with the coaches and some of the other fans. The fact that this is really one of the very least experienced teams that we've had in years.
Yes, it is.
And I mean that goes both from the standpoint of the age, with only 2 seniors, but actual playing time. All right, here's a pitch by Deal that runs away, and Carson Scott is your batter for the Athenians. Again, Carson playing second base. Here's a pitch, swung on and fouled. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'm sure the fans can tell by the lights as they look way into center field over there that there is another ball field in the offing. Almost, here's a ground ball up the middle. This will be
trouble.
I would say they weren't going to get him anyway. Yeah. The ball goes on through, but Carson Scott is just flat out run. So the Athenians with a leadoff hit here to start the 3rd inning.
Number 34, Austin Warren.
All right, the pitcher, Austin Warren, comes to the plate. See, Austin the first time. What did he do, Mike?
He got on an error. He hit one through the shortstop.
We may be stealing here.
Yeah, it was very good.
Not this time. Here's a pitch taken for a strike.
Yeah, we might test the young man out here.
The 0-1. Swung on, ground ball to third. Oh, my. A blind pick. He turns and gets the out at second and on to first for the double play. So, really, the third baseman, you got to give him credit. He came up with that pick. That ball was hit hard. And he came up clean, made an accurate throw to second. And so the Athenians quickly have 2 outs now. And that'll bring up Will Kellerman. Ground ball, right side foul. Here's a ball swung on and missed. It's in the upper part of the zone. So Will behind 0-2. This ball's taken outside to folks that sit on the side. That looked like an awful good pitch, but it was off the plate. This one's way off the plate, and the count evens. That's a changeup he's throwing right there. A couple of times I wasn't really sure what he was throwing, but that time you could see it's a circle change. Here's a ball taken over the shortstop's head. It's a high,
got to be in there,
but it's down, and again it just falls to the ground and stops right there. So we're on at first base with the second hit of the Athenian inning here, but unfortunately the double play erased the Athenians from the bags, and now we have Will at first with 2 down. So Owen Bennett comes to the plate here. Grounded out to third, I believe, the first time.
Yes, he did.
So Owen 0 for 1 in this ball game. I believe Owen's still looking for his first hit. Here's a runner going. Will got a nice jump. There's no chance. And but I'll tell you, that's nice. We got some guys in the lineup that can get down that line, and that's going to be something that we can look at not only this season but the seasons to come. Will a junior, and of course Carson Scott only a sophomore. Probably our fastest 2 guys, but we've got some other men like Blackburn, who's very fast, and that's a great element to have. There's no substitute up for speed, as they say.
All, yes.
Can't teach it very well either, Mike.
No.
Here's the pitch. This is taken for a strike. He'd probably like to have that one back.
Mm-hmm.
1 ball, 1 strike. Bennett now with a chance to drive in a run after the stolen base. Here's the pitch, swung on and nubbed off and foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, swung on. This taken to center field. It's going to be caught by the shortstop, though, as he gets out and fields that one for out number 3. So the Athenians, even though they get a couple of base runners there, come up with nothing here in the top of the third. And after 2 1/2 innings to play, your Athenians lead it by a score of 1-0. Well, Mike, we might mention that, the Athenians have 8 guys on this roster listed as pitchers. Now, we only have 1 left-hander, I believe, with Will Kellerman.
Right.
But we got a ton of guys here willing to get out and get on the mound and let it go. So that's a good thing. And, of course, with the new rules that were instigated just last season, we really are blessed to have that many guys. And, we're trying to keep our pitchers at 80 and under in this tournament.
Yes.
And I don't know whether we'll continue to try to do that next week, as we're still not into conference play until the week after
that,
when
yes.
we certainly would, I'm sure, be willing to change a little bit on that. But, well, I'm not going to go through all of the rules on that, but we mentioned the 80 pitch thing is kind of important because when you hold it down to the 80 pitch thing, then you only need 2 days rest and you can come back.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the magic number here. Yeah, if you throw in between 101 and 120 pitches, you have to sit out 4 days.
Okay.
I mean, that's out of it as far as pitching. So, all right, who you got here, Mike?
We've got second baseman Bell leading off in the 8th spot with Ross to follow, and then the top of the order.
Okay, 8, 9, and 1. This pitch is swung on and fouled back by Ross.
Bell.
Pardon. Ross is on deck,
Ross
isn't he?
on
Yeah.
deck, yeah.
Here's a breaking ball that catches the upper part of the zone. So Ross, I bumped into my mic there. Austin Warren ahead on the count, and the next pitch is the ball still ahead with 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oh my. Ran him away from the plate on that one. No. We got him set up for that one on the outside corner, Mike.
Yeah, let's see if he does it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bell the batter, Warren the pitcher. Here's the pitch, swung on a miss, and he blew a fastball right by him. So, Austin Warren continues to be very impressive with his fastball. I mean, he has had a lot of swing and misses with
Yes,
that
he has.
fastball.
Yeah, he's throwing hard tonight.
All right, Ross is the hitter here. Number 9 hitter, as you mentioned, and we need to get this guy out, Mike, because if you remember in this afternoon's ball game, the first hit that the opponents got was by the number 9 hitter. First pitch is in there for a ball. Next pitch swung on and fouled. Count evens at 1-1. Fitzwater at third. McCarty at short. Here's a check swing. Or at second base is Carson Scott at first base. Kellerman. That's your infield. Left to right. Here's the pitch taken for a strike. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Give him that outfield, Mike.
We got Cam Saunders in left, Josh Blackburn in center, and Jake Decker in right.
Here's a ball taken to right, and that'll be a base hit. So a pitch kind of out and away, and maybe, I don't know if it was on the outside corner or not, but the batter just kind of went with it and found the hole between first and second. So with 1 down now, the Chargers from Westview have a runner at first base, and that'll bring up the top of the order. Number 25, and we really don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but
We're thinking it's Velasca. If it's not, we apologize.
yeah, well, I really believe our Athenian fans at home, if we told them that his name's Smith, they might not know the difference with it.
They wouldn't.
Actually, they can, because this fine PA announcer we have over here is probably being picked up by
Yes, he's on top of it.
He's actually eating the food.
All right, here we go. Throw over to first base, runner back in plenty of time.
I'll ask that fine announcer between innings how bad I'm butchering this leadoff hitter's name.
Short lead at first. Got a big lean on his lead, but here's a ball that stays high. 1 ball, no strikes. Having finished the first game today, Austin's actually pitching now in his 4th inning of work. Here's a pitch. Oh, my goodness.
I'm not sure. That's one thing, Mike. We're sitting up high,
yeah.
and especially I think the low pitches are kind of hard for us to see. But from here, let me say, and I'm sure on the camera picture, it looked good.
It looked good. Yes.
2 balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and we got help there. Because we can tell from here that pitch was way high.
Way high. I couldn't even say eye high. It was probably a little higher than that.
Eye high is what we used to bring our games online
with.
Yes, we did. Here's a pitch, and that's first strike. That looked pretty much like the other one, maybe a little more inside. So the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. No threat so far of a runner trying to steal a base here. Here's a ground ball right side. We need to get the out at first. Can't do it. Carson Scott, he's really fighting himself at second base. Had an error to lead off our defensive inning in this afternoon's game on a relatively easy chance. So this was a little more difficult play here. He had to move quite a bit to his left, but really still had plenty of time to make the play. Just couldn't come up with it clean.
Right.
So a little bit of a situation here for the Athenians, and that'll bring up
the right fielder, Bird.
Yeah, the number 2 hitter in the lineup. And so we need to bear down right here. First pitch of ball. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Next pitch, nice breaking ball right there. Coaches were a little concerned, about Austin controlling his breaking ball, but it's looked good here.
Yeah, he just looked good today.
Here's another one that stays outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's a ground ball up the middle, close to the bag, on the bag, over to first.
Yeah.
Got the out, double play. 4, 6, 3, DP. Athenians out of the inning. So in the inning, the Chargers did get a base hit, got another runner on an error, but nonetheless, the 2 runners did not do any damage, and so at the end of 3 full innings of play, your Athenians lead at 1-0. That's 1-5-2 now for the Athenians. 0-1-0 for the Chargers from Westview. Well, Athenians do not open up conference play, Mike, until week after next. We'll just note that those dates are the 10th and 12th of April, and the game on the 10th is away against the Tri-West Bruins,
yes.
And then a home game then we're on Thursday, the 12th, and that game, a 6 o'clock game, and that should be, again, a webcast game. So those games coming up.
We got Sammy Riddle leading off.
Sammy, our DH here. Here's a pitch away, and we got, I don't know, Coach Froze, we had to penalize him there. He's a little late getting into the box over there. Let's don't let him forget that. All right, here's the second pitch, and this is right down the middle for a strike. Did Sammy take a called third strike his first time, or did he?
No, it was. Yes, it was.
Okay,
Yes,
I thought so.
Yes, it was.
Here's a pitch outside, so 2 balls and 1 strike. Riddle ahead on the count. Sammy, as we mentioned, getting good swings at fastballs and struggling a little bit with the breaking ball. Here's the pitch. Should get a fastball right there, and it was down. So good job laying off of that 2-1. So 3-1 now with the hitter's advantage. Should get a fastball, and does. And it's ball 4. And I'm not sure where that was. Apparently it was too low.
Evidently.
Looked like it had to plate. Well, anyway, leadoff walk, and
we like them when we get them, but
We'll take them.
that's one of the things that you just least like to see when you're out on the field.
Yeah,
Leadoff walks are killers. And we hope it works out that way this time in the advantage of the Athenians. Okay, we
Cam
got
Saunders.
Kim, and I was trying to see, he got a hit, didn't he, the first time?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
He got one of our 3 hits.
Okay.
5 hits.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see what we're going to do with this. Here's a ball taken for a strike. I don't think I know Sammy in the past has not been a threat to run, but I don't think we've got anything on here. So it's up to Cam to move the runner at first, throw to first, back in time. Cam Saunders, our biggest member of our roster. What's his height measured at now?
I think about 6'4".
Oh, Sammy was almost caught off. If the pitch had been on the other side of the plate, I think we'd have been in trouble. Cam offered to move at that pitch, didn't he? Let's see what he does. Yeah, 0-2. He offered at that pitch was well off the plate inside, so sometimes we just see the bunt signal and we make up our mind we got to bunt it. Here's a pitch taken down. Good job there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sammy Riddle with a short lead at first. Here's the pitch. This is taken, strike 3. Nice breaking ball. Probably to the outer half of the plate, but definitely on the plate. So 1 down now. That'll bring up the shortstop, Cale McCarty.
Number 8, Cale McCarty.
Here's the fastball up and in. Cale was hit by a pitch his first time up. Here's the ball taken to the right side, but out of play. Got a good barrel on the bat that time, though. Just need to straighten that one out a little bit. Ball's away. Good job taking that pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 down here in the top half of the 4th inning. The pitch, here's the ball foul. There's another line shot to the right side. Cale just a little tardy. Two balls, 2 strikes. I think he might see a breaker here, but
Could be possible.
well, he's seeing that fastball.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch. He was called out on a pitch that it had to get no more than the corner of the plate. But anyway, that goes as out number 2 as Cale looks at a called 3rd strike. Okay, Cade Fitzwater, your batter, with 2 down. He squares the fifth, the bunt, and pulls the bat back, takes ball 1. Here's a bunt attempt. Ball might have been a little bit outside, Mike. And little anxious. That's all right. Count evens a 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's true. Should roll off.
He's squaring, he's swinging. But he takes it outside. Good job. Squared around enough to convince the third baseman. He comes in and chance to knock it by him. Here's the 2-1. This is taken down and away. Cade checks down to Coach Froge at third base. The only thing we could be doing here is running, I think. And I don't think we're doing that. There's ball 4 down, so good job. Draws the base on balls, and will bring up the top of the batting order now. Josh Blackburn, normally a pretty aggressive hitter up here.
just, I believe, struck out his last time, but led off the ball game with a base hit.
And scored our only run.
That one's down and in, ball one. Pitch count starting to add up a little bit for this young man.
So, yeah.
Mr. Deal on the mound here. Here's the pitch. Here's a ball nubbed. Blackburn with speed still can't. No, he threw it away, and the ball is really loose now. We're going to get one, and then we got a ground rule as it goes into the top area down here. We're going to be allowed the second run to come in. So that makes it 3-0 Athenians, and Blackburn trots on down to second base. So that'll go as a throwing error. No RBI on that one, but nonetheless, it count all the same.
Westview coach wants a clarification on.
Well,
maybe on the. It was an extra base. So. Yeah. He's not agreeing with the call, I think.
Yeah, discussion again as to how many bases the Athenians are entitled to. Apparently, it's going to go the Athenian way. Two umpires coming together to discuss it. Apparently, they agree. So the Athenians plate two and actually go up by a score of 3-0 now.
So we've got Carson Scott coming up.
Number 5, Carson Scott.
With Josh Blackburn on second.
Well, that's one of the good things, Mike, when you put the ball in play, you always got a chance of something good happening.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Young man out there got a little bit hurried.
Yep.
And I think he had plenty of time, even though Josh runs well. Here's the second pitch in there for ball two. So 2-0 with Blackburn at second base, 2 down. Athenians now leading it by a score of 3-0. Here's the ball taken to the shortstop on one high, right through his legs. That'll bring easily another run in. Now look at here, we're stretching it, and we're in there at second base. Again, the speed for the Athenians paying off as Scott just wheeled it right on down. Just never hesitated.
No, he did not.
And I don't think probably Coach Welver has to do a whole lot down there for that young man to get him to move. So 4-0 now, Athenians, here in the top half of inning number 4.
Brings up Austin Moore.
Yeah, Austin, number 34. His game on the mound, but now he has a chance to get another RBI here. This pitch is way wide. And again, the pitch count really beginning to build up on this young man. Long pause, and the pitch is, I guess it didn't hit him.
No, he got over it.
Good job there by Austin hopping up over that one, and pitch to the backstop allows Scott to easily motor on down to third base. Two balls, no strikes. Let the fastball get by him that time. Well, you might say deal is dealing, and here's a swing and a miss. I don't know whether that ball got any of the plate or not, but it looked like we were fooled and we're out ahead on the swing. So we got deuces wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch
is a wild pitch, and that'll bring in run number 5 for the Athenians. And I didn't wait to see, Mike, if, there's even going to be a play. As soon as I saw it get by the catcher, with Carson Scott on third, you can go ahead and call it.
I marked it down before he got there.
Yeah, I think the only way he gets out is if he falls down.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch. No, that's ball 4. So on down to first base goes Austin Warren, and the inning continues for the Athenians.
Number 21, Will Kellerman.
Really don't see any work down in the bullpen here for the Chargers. The Athenians have a busy bullpen, but nothing showing. Athenian fans hooping it up online here.
Yeah.
Blackman bullpen right now.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's Josh Blackburn warming up a little bit down in the bullpen. Here's a pitch. No, I called that one too soon. I thought it was outside, Mike.
I did too.
Obviously, I'm wrong, and the umpire's right, and he's the only one that counts anyway. No balls, 1 strike. Here's a pitch swung on and fouled off. So Will Kellerman behind on the count now. What's well done so far, Mike?
Will has struck out and got a base hit.
Well, don't like to strike out, but one for 2 will work all day long, you know.
Yeah.
Here's a swing and a miss, and so that's his second strikeout. So, Will batting in the cleanup position. I don't know where he's ever batted cleanup before.
I don't think so. I think that's a new spot for him.
So, anyway, he goes down to in the top half of the 4th inning, but your Athenians come up with 4 big runs and take a 5-0 lead here in the top half of the 4th. And Austin Warren is on for his 4th inning of work.
I'm off on the hits. We'll have to check. They got 5. I've got 4.
Check the errors. Maybe it counted.
What do we got here coming up? We have, let's see, the
Looks like 3, 4, and 5.
bottom
maybe.
of the 4, 3, 4, 5. Parham, Pogue, and Davidson. That was a good inning. I mean, to score 4 runs and no hits. That was aggressive running. Aggressive running. Their one error to start that was a throwing error by the pitcher trying to get Blackburn, and then they had an error that went through the shortstop's legs. So we're being aggressive on the bases.
Yeah. Well, again, we talked about having some speed, and we don't have speed 1 through 9 by any means, but we've got 3 or 4 guys that run pretty well, better than average.
Mm-hmm. Number 7, the shortstop, Parham.
He ground out to third the first time, maybe.
Yes, he did.
First pitch in there for a ball. Bottom of 4, Athenians leading it 5-0. Next pitch popped to the right side. Right fielder over, under, and ooh.
Ooh, it's...
He almost let that one get out of hand there.
Come on, Jake. Don't scare us like that.
Yeah.
Number 1, Malik Foe.
Okay, well, anyway, way to hang with it, Decker.
Yes.
I think he'd gotten pretty relaxed on that play, maybe a little bit over-relaxed.
He was waiting on it, yeah.
One down here. Here's the fastball, letter high fastball to the outside part of the plate, strike 1. Again, the infield back all the way around. Here's a nice breaking ball right there. So quickly, Austin Warren ahead on the count, 0-2. Infield looks like it's really playing well, Mike. I mean, the condition of the infield is great.
Yes, it is.
Here's another breaking ball for strike 3. So quickly, 2 down here in the bottom half of 4. Austin Warren not wasting any pitches this inning. The outfield, a little bit different story. We got a lot of water out there, although we did have in kind of left center field area, or more left field, I guess. Here's a line drive base hit to right field, and so Davidson gets, what is that, their third hit? Second hit, okay. And with 2 outs, I think that's the second time in the ball game they've got a runner with 2 outs.
Yes.
And that's a better situation for Austin to work with.
That brings up their designated hitter, Mitchell.
Mitchell reached first base his first time at bat.
Yes, he did. He got on an air.
Here's a swing and a miss. He had a good rip at that one. Fastball down that time. Most of Austin's fastballs have been in the upper part of the zone or maybe up out of the zone. Here's a breaking ball, stays wide. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. With a 5-0 score right here, unless this kid's really a burner at first base, I wouldn't think they'd be running.
No.
Here's a breaking ball, hangs high, so Austin falls behind in the count, 2-1. Here's a pitch, fastball, letter high, outer side of the plate, but got enough for strike 2. Again, Deuce is wild on the board. Right there, fastball. He couldn't get a better located fastball to swing at, but he's looking, and I called strike 3, and that'll retire the Chargers from Westview High School. So at the end of 4-4, your Athenians lead it by a score of 5-0. It's 5-5-2 for the Athenians and 0-2-2 for the Chargers. Again, we'll remind you, should the Athenians continue to lead this game and win it, they will be playing in the championship game tomorrow. And again, I'm not going to announce that starting time because we don't have it factual, but we will try to get it maybe before we get offline. But in any case, win or lose, the Athenians will be playing another game tomorrow. Then heading back home to Seville and hopefully some dry ground up north. I know what we've seen, and I tell you, it's been the same for everybody, Mike. As you noticed coming down the road, everything was very, very wet.
Very wet, yes.
I mean, there was not one dry spot anywhere between Crawfordsville and Union City.
Well, I didn't ask my wife today about the rain, but I know she told me yesterday it rained, a drizzle, like it was here really, all day long.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
well,
we're still getting it.
We got word from a couple of our viewers. The bakers have been bailing water, I think, for a day.
Yeah.
So we know it's wet up there. All right, here we go. Our catcher, Owen Bennett, steps in. Takes a called strike. His next pitch swung on and foul off the third base line. Coach Froese.
He let that one go by.
Yeah, he declined to make an offer on that one. So, Owen behind on the count, 0-2. Here's a ball that's foul, and so Austin trots back up to the batter's box. Just got a message from the Baker family that it's not raining up there today. So
thank you, Dick. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Tell you the truth, it probably was Ann.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ann.
Here's a ball again, knocked off, and so Owen hanging in there. with the 0-2 count, protecting the plate. Something we don't see a whole lot of anymore in the big leagues.
Right.
Here's a big hop. He slipped before he threw, but he got set out there, and so Deal made a good play there. That's the first time I saw a significant slip, except for our second base play earlier, when he had a little trouble with footing. But I think the ground's pretty solid out there. So one down here. First pitch taken off the plate.
Number 19, Sammy Riddle.
DH Sammy Riddle. What did he do the last couple of times, Mike?
He has, we don't like that one.
Swung on and missed.
Struck out and walked.
Okay.
And scored a run in the fourth.
Well, we like his on-base percentage.
Yes.
If I can get on base half the time, I'm a valuable commodity in my ball club. Swings and misses down 0-2. Here's the pitch. He takes strike three right down the middle. Yeah, I think Sammy is probably leading the team in a stat that you don't want to lead the team in there, right? I think he's probably...
Number 24.
It's a sunny, all day today. The field today is a lot better than today.
Cam Saunders coming to the plate. He's got a hit tonight.
Here's a pitch down the way. Hey, Justin, who from?
Coach Bean.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, we got word from Coach Bean back in Crawfordsville saying it was sunny and the Diamonds looking a whole lot better. And so maybe that's a good word for Monday's ball game. Here's a ground ball up the middle. This could be a tough play.
Could be trouble.
Second baseman over. They won't get him in time. So good job, Cam, getting on down the line there. Throw got away, but not enough to advance on to second base. But with 2 outs, we have a runner at first base.
That's Cam's second hit tonight.
Number 8, Cale McCarty.
So our shortstop, Cale McCarty, comes to the plate. I hear something going on down the other ball diamond there, Michael.
Something happened.
Somebody did something big down there. Here's the first pitch to Cale, and it's a strike. Most of the Athenians pretty moderate leadoffs today, I noticed. Again, probably a sign of the inexperience for the most part. Obviously, a few exceptions. I noticed Blackburn and Scott, for example, they like to get a little more late. Here's a pitch, and he checks his swing, but not in time. So strike 3 as Cale goes down. So that'll end the top of the 5th for the Athenians. They get no runs and no hits, but a runner left on base. So we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, with your Athenians leading it by a score of 5-0. How many times have we, the Athenians, struck out?
Strikeouts for the Athenians tonight. Let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So I heard complaints about striking out too much in this afternoon's game. Well, we've already surpassed that by 3. And so, we'll get some, but we do have more runs. I guess that's where it counts. But
that's exactly right.
I think there'll be some comments about especially the strikes that we've taken looking, which I know we've had several of those, actually. I look real quick, I see 3. I think maybe there's 4, actually.
4, yeah. I see 5.
5, okay. So that's 5 looking is way too many.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want to critique a little bit.
Leading up for Westview, number 4, Alex Deal.
Yes, sir. We have the pitcher coming up, Alex Deal.
Yeah, his third at bat of the day, I believe.
No, we got 7, 8, and 9.
That's his second at bat. Yes.
7, 8, and 9 coming up.
Well, that's the preferred order for any pitcher. Doesn't always work out great.
Right.
All right, ready to go. Austin Warren fires it in there, and the fastball fouled back to the screen. No balls and a strike. Well, I don't think this bunch is going to get complacent here with this 5-0 lead.
No, I don't think they'll let them.
They're not experienced enough to.
Yeah.
Here's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and so Austin ahead on the count, 0-2. In the infield back all the way around. Here's the breaking ball, hangs high. Yeah, I think the coaches are going to be pleased with what they've seen from Austin Warren today.
I do believe you're right. That's a nice one.
Here's a fastball right there for a called strike 3. And our opponents, the Westview Chargers, have had a few strikeouts looking, I believe, in this ball game.
Yes, they have. 1, 2, I see 3. Number
2, he's going to drop it into right field. That's either the second or third hit into right field.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's see, that makes their third hit.
And,
they've all been to right field.
Yes, they have.
And so anyway, a runner on first base for the Chargers, 1 out. Number 20 coming to the plate.
Ross.
He's the number 9 hitter, but he got a base hit. These number 9 hitters are tough, aren't they?
They're getting us today, yeah.
Oh, there's a breaking ball, and the young man ducked down. Probably not the proper way to retreat from that breaker there. Anyway, it's a ball. Runner getting a big lead. Talking about leads, that's one of the biggest leads we've seen all day. There's ball 2, so Austin needs to find the plate here.
Well, that's the first time Bell's been on, so maybe he's their speedster.
Yeah, well, it very well could be. Usually you try to get your speedsters in the front half of that order, but but he didn't get on that much. Why? You can understand him being on the 8 position. Well, anyway, there you go. So you're right. He runs well. He runs well. Breaking ball down the way, and that runs the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. So a little bit of a scoring threat here for the Westview Chargers. Athenians in a good defensive situation here, though. Here's a ooh-wee. Boy, I did not know where that.
Wow.
I mean, but for both sides, I've seen some pitches. I have no idea where they are. It just didn't appear that ball could have been low. But we're going to make a change here, I think. I think that's going to be as far as it goes with Austin today.
Blackbird coming in.
Switching people around, so I see.
Okay, well, let's see what we got here. We've got
Cade's going to move.
We've got Josh Blackburn coming in to pitch. We've got Cade Fitzwater going to center field, and that'll probably put Austin Warren back on third base.
Yes. Well, a real positive outing today, getting the save in game number 1. Austin starting the second game and really has been strong. Obviously not allowed any runs with 1 out here in the 5th, and so he's in line really to get the win if we can certainly hang on to this thing. And
now pitching for Crawfordsville, number 20, Josh Blackburn.
And we give Josh a chance to get a little experience here early in the season. So I think a good move, and hopefully Josh will close the opponents down here and keep the Athenians on the right road here. Road to win number 2 is what we're looking for.
And they're back at the top of their order, too. So,
yeah.
Josh is coming in with runners on first and second, 1 out, in the top of the order up.
Okay, Josh Blackburn finished his warm-up tosses here. So we set it again with one out here in the bottom of the fifth inning, and the Chargers from Westview with runners on first and second. Here's number 25, and he is...
You want to take a shot at
yeah,
it?
well... I was going to say, I thought we were going to call him Smith, but we're going to see what the PA...
The PA announcer is going to announce it for us right now.
First pitch is in there for a strike. Josh Blackburn delivers the fastball out of the stretch. And the pitch is down. Good job that time blocking the ball. Owen Bennett getting down in front of that one. Count evens at 1 ball, 1 strike. This next pitch is down. Two-one. Again, Austin Warren moving over to third base. Here's a nice breaking ball. Ball gets away from Bennett. Both runners will advance, and that'll go as a pass ball. Breaking ball that appeared to be, it was a called strike. It was in a spot not hard to handle. But anyway, that one getting loose. So we'll lose our force outs there, Mike.
Yes, we did on a one we probably shouldn't have, but that happens.
Here's a pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So Josh doing a good job coming back there and getting out number 2. So that brings up Bird. He's the right fielder, and with 2 outs, we need to get this young man out of there. There's a breaking ball that not sure where it was, but called the ball.
We've had success at that. He's grounded out twice tonight.
Another breaking ball's right there.
That's a good pitch by Josh.
Yeah, that ball really drops.
Yes, it did.
And, it's an off-speed kind of a thing. It looks like it might be something that maybe after you see him a time or two, they might catch up with it. But effective right now, for sure. Here's a swing and a miss. That ball getting away from Owen just a little bit. But good job blocking, keeping it just out to the side. So Josh Blackburn now ahead on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking to record out number 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. And here's the pitch. This one is taken down and away, and the count evens. So for the 3rd time this evening, we've got Deuces Wild. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, grounded left side. Up with it is Warren on to first base, and he records the out for the 3rd out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So your Athenians do a good job after getting in a little bit of a trouble situation there. They got some real good relief pitching out of Josh Blackburn. And at the end of 5 full, your Athenians lead it by a score of 5-0, 5-6-2 for the Athenians, 0 where it counts, 3-2 for the Chargers from Westview. Looks like the Chargers bringing a new man onto the mound here. Got number maybe 16, Mike. I don't think we have a roster, so
no, we don't.
Maybe our PA man will help us out here, but there is a new pitcher on the mound for our opponents here.
I wonder if he came in for previous pitcher Deal.
Yeah, I don't know. Deal was number 1.
Number 1, yeah.
Or no, actually he was number 4, Mike.
Yes, my bad. My bad. That
number
was
4.
He was number 4.
And I'm looking around. I don't find number 4, but I mean, I have to be honest. I have a little bit of difficulty reading numbers in the outfield.
Yeah.
I mean, I can handle it on the infield a little bit.
I have that same problem too. We're going to be leading off with 9-1-2. Cade Fitzwater, Josh Blackburn, and Carson Scott. The top of the 6th.
There's the throw down, and so here comes Carson, or number 25, Cade Fitzwater to the plate. So we have speed, and speed here. Here's the ball that's down. I know Cade's had a walk so far this
Yes,
evening.
he grounded out and walked and scored a run in the 4th.
Yep.
This one's, first one was way low. That one's way high. So, I don't know. Coach Frodes used to like to take this pitch when you get a new pitcher in and he can't find a plate to start out with, So, see if we offer here. We're taking all the way.
All the way.
Yeah.
3 of them.
So, we're definitely going to leave the bat on the shoulder here.
And take a walk.
This young man does not appear to... he's a pretty good-sized guy, but he doesn't appear to throw the ball real hard,
No,
Mike.
he doesn't.
So that brings up Josh Blackburn.
Number 20, Josh Blackburn.
Josh moving from center field to pitch, and we assume at this point trying to complete the game on the mound. Here's a ground ball, and that's a fair ball just by the third baseman, and that'll be as far as Cade can advance, getting to second. So the left fielder did a nice job getting down the line. The ball actually, I believe, ended up in foul territory down there by the time he fielded it. But anyway, we have an early threat here now, and really a perfect bunting situation here for Carson Scott.
I'm sure we might see, well, I'm not sure, but I think we might see that.
Well, the biggest stress on this play, really, and this is a pretty tough play for the runner at second base.
Right.
Because you can't automatic. Here's a pitch, and he swings and chops the same as he's going to be safe. They're going to be loaded. We got the runner overrun. And now we got the ball thrown away, and Cade Fitzwater comes in to score, and that ball, I think they're going to move us back this time. We're trying to come in. Let's see. Okay, we're okay. We got 2. We got 2. So move them on in, and that'll bring in run number 7. That'll go again as a base hit.
Where's Carson?
He's all the way around to third.
Base.
All the way around to third. So, yeah, base hit by Carson, even though he didn't hit the ball hard enough to break a pane of glass, but that's what speed does for you.
Yes,
Puts pressure on the defense. They make bad throws. That's part of the reason they make bad throws. It's the speed that the opponents put on them. Well, anyway, 7-0, and here's the first pitch outside Austin Warren. Austin's been having good plate appearances here.
Yes, he is.
Here's a ground ball to third base. He's going to get the out, but the run will score. So RBI for Austin Warren as Carson Scott comes across with run number 8 for your Athenians. And we really, even though this is the 6th inning, we could put this in the go-home mode here. Yeah. We got to score 2 more, but we could go to 10 run thing here if we could play a couple more here in the top of the 6th.
we were 1 out, and Will Kellerman up.
Will fouls that one and goes behind on the count 0-2. Now, I think Will is kind of chasing Sammy a little bit for that strikeout record.
Yeah, he's got a couple tonight.
Swings and fouls that one off. The count remains 0-2. Well, Will has had a hit this evening, I believe, and so
Yes,
here's a swing and a miss. He goes down once again, so not liking that. Not a happy young man going back to the dugout there.
Number 11, Owen Bennett.
So 2 down now. After the Athenians plate 3, they get a couple outs, and catcher Owen Bennett to the plate. He takes the first pitch. And I'm not sure where it was, but it's ball 1.
It's a ball.
That one's inside, but apparently he went around too much. Called a strike. So the count even 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Here's a pitch outside. This is a very nice ballpark. We are again here at Elam Stadium in Union City, Tennessee. Here's a ball fouled off. Union City being in the western part of the state of Tennessee. We've spent a lot of time in more centrally located Nashville and Nashville general area in the past, but the last 2 years right here in Union City. That ball is down and count goes full, 3-2. Owen Bennett trying to keep it going here in the 6th inning for the Athenians. Here's a pitch, swung on and missed. So even though this young man didn't throw hard, he got some strikeouts, but not until the damage was done as the Athenians score 3 more here in the top half of the 6th inning and lead it by a score of 8-0. Well, once again, we remind you we have a webcast planned for tomorrow. As it looks now, the Athenians will move on to the championship ball game. And then we will also be webcasting Monday, a 6 o'clock ball game at Crawfordsville, and we'll be hosting the West Lafayette Red Devils. So tomorrow, again, that time to be announced for sure, and the time scheduled for Monday is 6 o'clock.
Okay, in the bottom of the 6th, we're going to have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. Payham, Pogue, and Davidson.
Heart of the batting order. So bottom half of the 6th, and again, Josh Blackburn on in relief here of Austin Warren. Austin, really good job today, and I know the coach is anxious to see what he would do, and been a very pleasing result.
I believe so.
And of course, Cam Saunders going 6 innings in game number 1 with 8 strikeouts in that ball game. Great job. I think he allowed. I had it right here, so let me look at it. Austin, I believe, gave out 2 hits in that ball game now, and so only 2 hits. He only walked 1 guy, struck out 8. Not Austin, pardon me, Cam
Saunders. Yes.
And so we just can't say too much about the quality of this Athenian pitching so far in this tournament. Number 7, he's shortstop, as I remember.
Yes, it is. He is grounded out and flew out to the right.
First pitch up and in, he takes for a ball. Blackburn inside again, and this time too far inside as he hits the runner. So On down to first base. A leadoff runner now for the Chargers. Well, trying to see what he's done here, Mike.
Pogue has flown out
And struck out.
And struck out.
Okay. Here's well, I just don't know where that pitch is, but anyway, it's ball one. I really think what's probably happening here, throw on the first, runner back in time. I really believe this umpire's zone's a little bit different. I think he's not giving us much of the inside part of the plate for one, and I don't think he's giving us much of the balls in the bottom part of the zone as what we've been watching with the other umpires.
Right.
So, pitchers know that. After a while, they have to adjust. Here's a breaking ball that stays high, so 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody down here in the bottom of the 6th. Athenians leading it by a score of 8-0, but Josh Blackburn needing strikes right now. Here's the pitch, and that's on the outside corner. And I think that may be the case, too. I think he actually gives a little more on the outside than what we've been seeing. So
I think so.
You got to throw to where the man calls them, I guess. This ball's inside. No question about that. And it's 3-1. No action stirring in the Athenian bullpen down there. So if we get another pitcher, it'll come from the diamond. Here's the pitch up and ball 4. So we hit one and walk one, and not a good start here in the bottom of the 6th. And Will Kellerman coming over and going to talk here with Josh a little bit. And now Owen goes out, and it's probably kind of a settle down kind of a talk there. I'm sure he's not really talking pitches, but just get the ball in my glove,
Yeah, that's those strikes. Let the defense work.
Yeah, you can't worry about concentrating on trying to strike out a guy and be overpowering or anything like that. Just get the ball over the plate, and that's what he does. A nice soft breaker there, taken for a ball. And we've got Davidson.
He's got a hit tonight.
Yeah. Grounded out to short and base hit to right. Here's the breaking ball. And that looked just about like the last one. A little more to the inside part of the plate. But good job coming back there, Josh. You're ahead now. You can kind of dictate what you do right here. 0-2. Here's a pop-up. That ball's into center field. We're under, and we'll have it for out number 1. So, good job as Kate had no trouble with that one.
No trouble that. Brings up the designated hitter, Mitchell. Got on in there and struck out in the 4th.
Boy.
Must be down.
It's got to be down now.
Yeah.
Well, Josh is obviously, there's not a lot of velocity on that thing. So here's a ball down and in. So when he throws a breaking ball, especially, that ball really drops. So now he's behind 2 balls, no strikes, with 1 down. Here's a ball swung on foul. That time he went to the fastball. 2-1. Hey, we're looking for the pitcher's best friend right here. Yes. How about a 6-4-3? I think we got the right man at the plate there.
Yeah.
Make that work. Oh, boy. That was too close.
Yeah.
So it's 3-1 now, and Josh really needed a strike right here. Ground ball third. Oh, my. That was not good. That was, I don't know. Maybe we didn't see the ball. That's the only thing I'd say on that one. We just didn't get down. And so that I'm calling that. I don't know what your pen said over there. My mouth is going to call that one an error on the third baseman.
That's what my ink pen said.
Okay. So the base is loaded now with Chargers and only one out. So Coach Froge watching this. I'm watching Coach Froge. He's not really stirring, so he's gonna go one more anyway with Josh here.
We got bases loaded with the deal up. He has struck out twice.
Yeah, that may be part of the reason for not moving. I don't know, but we got to throw strikes.
Yes.
Josh to the plate. This ball's fouled off to the right side. So good job. Way to get ahead there, Josh. I'll tell you what. If we could come up with that ground ball, though, it's a double play. I mean, it's hit hard enough, and the runner, we know, is not real quick coming off the plate. So, yeah. Ball inside. One ball, one strike, one down. Athenians have been in a couple of situations, but maybe this is the worst one we've faced so far this evening. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball right there.
Nice
He's got pretty good command of that pitch most of the time, really. He actually seems to have better command of the breaking ball than the fastball. Mm-hmm. So let's see what we do on the 1-2. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed on a breaking ball off the plate.
A little help, we'll take it.
Well, and that's the advantage of getting ahead on the count, too. Exactly. He gets 2 strikes. He's going to chase some bad ones once in a while. So an important second out there.
Bell is struck out and got a hit.
Number 8 hitter with it. So they've had number 8 and number 9 hitters both get hits. Just doesn't. It shows you the coaches don't know what they're doing.
Right.
I mean, they've only had 3 hits, and 2 of them have come out of 8 and 9. Here's a fastball for a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. So anyway, we do have force outs on all the bases, which is a defensive advantage.
Yeah.
Need to get a strike right here. Get ahead on the count now. Breaking ball's too high. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Blackburn trying to work out of a jam here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Athenian infield back all the way around. Very deep in the middle. Here's a pitch swung on and fouled off. And I'm not sure that pitch was, it looked like it might have been up.
A little bit.
But,
a little bit, I think so.
If we got some help, so be it.
We'll take it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down.
See if he brings that curveball back.
Breaker swung on line right to Will Kellerman at first base. And so the Athenians keep it clean, and the shutout stays intact after 6-4. Your Athenians lead it by a score of 8-0. It looks like up there maybe 8-3, Mike. And for the Westview Chargers, they have no runs on 3 hits and 3 errors. So, kind of a rough inning for the Athenians there, but nonetheless, get the job done and keep the shutout intact.
Yeah, we started out with a hit batsman, a walk, and then we survived it with no runs.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, we do have a little bullpen action. Cale McCarty working down there, so we may take the opportunity with an 8-0 lead to go ahead and let another guy throw. And not sure what we've got slated for tomorrow, but anyway, again, with 8 guys out of the 11 listed as members of the pitching staff.
Just pick one, right?
There you go. Let it happen. Well, your opponents at this point have the same situation, Mike. They've had to use up innings, and you have to assume everybody's playing early to
to win in advance, so they're going with their number 1 and 2s. And
Yeah.
so, it kind of evens out in that regard. Mm-hmm. Okay, well,
We're going to lead off with the 7th with Sammy Riddle, Cam Saunders, Cale McCarty.
foul off to the right side. Sammy, I don't believe he's been on in this ball game, has he?
Yeah, he walked.
Oh, he got a walk.
walked,
That's right, yes.
That 4th inning.
Yes,
yeah.
Here's a breaking ball for a strike. So Sam behind on the count, 0-2. Breaking ball grounded to the left side, but foul. So this young man pitching for Westview, whose name we haven't picked up, only his number, and he does not throw hard, as we mentioned, but has been fairly effective. After giving up the early runs, he's kind of come back and shut us down a little bit here. Sammy wasn't sure, was he?
He followed all the way down.
So the guy goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, I'll tell you, you know what happens to the young man, because he struggled with the curveball.
Yeah.
And so with 2 strikes, he was looking for a curveball, and the guy threw him a fastball down.
Yeah.
2-2. Swung on, taking the right field. The right fielder standing almost in place. As a matter of fact, I think if he hadn't moved to start with, he wouldn't have had to move at all.
Had to move it all. Right?
So, anyway, Sammy puts bat on the ball, takes the right ball to right field for out number 1.
Brings up Cam Saunders. Cam has 2 hits tonight.
He's our man tonight.
Yes, he is.
Actually, I think Carson has 2 hits, too. Maybe.
Carson has, 2 for 3. He had a sack in the first, yeah.
And also, Josh Meitner has 2 hits. So, Athenian offense busting out here.
Yeah.
1 ball on Cam Saunders. Here's we bat in the top half of the 7th inning. Here's a ball fouled off and out of play. Athenians trying to go to 2-0 in this start of the 2018 Athenian baseball season. Here's a pitch down. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'll say one thing. I say this young man doesn't really throw hard, but he kind of looks like a pitcher, Mike. He's handles himself like he's been out there before, and kind of wants to be there.
Yeah. He's around the plate. Yeah.
Cam grounds the ball to short. Boy, in shortstop in a hurry, and Cam really got down the line nice that time. Made it close play, but 2 down here in the top of the 7th. So,
we're gonna bat.
Yep.
Jacob
Weimer, a junior, getting his first at bat of the 2018 season, and looking for a 2-out rally here. Get our 10th run here. Still wouldn't end the ball game, but it'd be a lot of fun getting it. Here's a breaking ball that catches, I guess, the inside corner, and so the count goes to 1-1. Pitch is down, ball 2.
Ground ball short. Boy, it takes a big hop and then shortens out. Good job by the shortstop staying with that, and the throw is on the money for out number 3. So Weimer grounds out 6-3 to end the top half of the 6th inning, and in that inning there were no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on.
Let's see. It looks like
looking for all the changes here.
Yeah, I'm looking to see. We brought in Jake Decker. It's Jake on the mound. So the only other one we've got is Cade moved to right. Cade Fitzwater moved to right. Jake came in to pitch. Josh went back to center. I believe that's it.
I think so, yeah.
We're going to stick with it, aren't
we? Yeah, until somebody taps us on the shoulder and gives us some different. But I think you'd be right on.
And they are going to have their 9-1-2 coming up.
Those number 9 guys, you got to watch out for them.
The number 9 guy has been on base twice tonight with a hit and a walk.
Yeah, the number 9 hitters have been the most efficient hitters against the Athenians today. However, today so far, we've only given up 1 run and it was unearned.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Jake Decker, a junior, ready to deliver the first pitch for him in this 2018 season. Number 20, the batter, and what's he done, Mike?
He's the one. His 9 hitters. He's got a.
He's got a walk on his other bat. Yeah, that's right. 2 for 2. First pitch is the ball. Decker delivers a fastball right down the middle. Looked real smooth on that delivery. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'll tell you one thing, Coach Welliver will not, this is the last inning, we think. Got a new pitcher in there, and you would think, and I think here's a ball down low, 3-1. Most programs just go out there and throw fastballs, get it over the plate.
Right. No.
That's not. We're going to learn to pitch a little bit here. Pitch swung on, nub to the right. That could go fair, and it does. And Will's on it, steps up there and makes the tag for out number 1. Good job by Will not going to sleep on that. I mean, and I say this very honestly, I would say I would not be surprised if at least 1 out of 4 times on a ball like that, a first baseman would not move.
No, he would let it go foul.
I think everybody could see that on the camera. That ball was nubbed, and it was foul for the first, 25 feet?
Yeah.
And came back. Here's a pop, and on the first pitch, the leadoff hitter pops out, and so we'll call him Smith this last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smitty popped out that time.
And so, 2 down there. Good job by Jake Decker getting the ball over the plate. So that brings up the number 2 hitter who swings and misses. That's Bird.
Now let's number 12.
Well, I'm on the wrong. We got
a new hitter.
New hitter on us. Yes, sir. He swings and misses. Here's the pitch, swung on and misses. Throw it again because that guy's never going to hit that one. No balls and 2 strikes. That was a sweeping, breaking ball by Decker, and I'm going to tell you that ball was 3 feet outside. Here's the 0-2. He threw it about the same way.
Yeah.
A young man, give number 12 credit there. Yeah. He's learning up there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Jake Decker with the delivery. This is a fast, just off. Nice pitch. Really nice pitch. Might come right back with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch, breaking ball, strike 3, and this ball game is over. And you Athenians have won 2 in a row down here at Union City, and they go to the championship game, defeating in this ball game the Westview Chargers by a score of 8-0. Your winning pitcher was Austin Warren. Let's see, Mike, he went 4 1/3, I believe.
Yes, I believe so.
He was relieved by Josh Blackburn, and we just kept putting folks in there, and so anyway, the Athenians really, from the standpoint of pitching, I think coaches have to be very, very pleased. No earned runs, two ball games, no earned runs.
Yeah,
and so we go to the championship game. Let's check maybe our PA man. Would you get a chance? Would you check and see if he knows what time we play tomorrow? No, he's talking to somebody now, Justin. But anyway, the thing is, we'll be in the championship ball game, and we will be right here on this same diamond, Mike.
Yeah, we kind of like it here.
Absolutely. And we don't obviously know who the starting pitcher will be. I'm looking down through here. How many pitchers have we used today?
We used...
we play 9 o'clock tomorrow.
9 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, so our time to come online will probably be about 10 till 9, Mike.
Right.
And here comes... We're probably going to go on air tomorrow at about 10 till 9. According to... He says 9 o'clock. So, well, we're trying, fans, we're trying to kind of make ends meet here on this time, because some people are shaking their heads a little bit, but the guy that probably is in the best organizational position here has called a 9 o'clock start for the Athenians. Actually, I'd heard that earlier, actually, Mike, as a possibility. Well, because of all the rainouts we had and everything. And so...
taking place on Thompson Field. Thompson Field at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Crawfordsville and Glenbrook North.
So, he's saying at Compton Field.
The winner of that will move up here to play the championship game at about 11:30.
Okay, so actually, yeah, we have to win tomorrow to go to the championship game of the overall. We should clarify. With a win tomorrow, we win our bracket. But then we would have to play later. So we're actually playing tomorrow 9 o'clock, but on another field, and then if we win that game, we come back to this field. And I wasn't sure what time he said, but he announced the time. But we'll worry about that later.
We'll get through the 9 o'clock
game,
right?
About 10 till 9, we'll hope to come on tomorrow.
Lefty's going.
Will Kellerman will be the starter. We just, it's been announced that Will Kellerman will be the starter for tomorrow's ball game at 9 o'clock. And so that pretty well racks it up for this evening. Mike, why don't you kind of finish up with some final comments. We've already talked about the pitching, but boy, that's the big star to start with.
Yeah, the pitching has got to be happy. Coaches have to be happy with the pitching. And we got 8 hits tonight, so it was passed around. I think Josh Blackburn got 2. Carson Scott got 2. We got him down to Will Kellerman got 1. And we've got Cam Saunders with 2. And I believe that's it. I think I may be 1 short. I think I got us for 7 hits. We're close in there, though. Okay. I think, allowing 1 hit all day, we got to be happy with that. And the scoring.
1 run.
One run.
One run all
One
day.
run all day. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, we hit the ball well tonight, and I think we got to be happy with what we saw tonight.
Yeah, and that run was unearned.
Yes.
So actually, pitching standpoint, they gave up 0. So yeah, well, we really emphasized early when we came on about the fact that this is a very young. Inexperienced ball club, and we're getting out of here because these young men need to eat. And get to bed and get back up in the morning. So we'll say once again the Athenians won it here in game number 2 by a score of 8-0, and we'll be playing at 9 o'clock in the morning. So Athenian fans, tune in and follow your Athenian baseball. See you then.